why shouldn't someone have freedom to act or be for at least just a little while the way they wouldn't mind acting or being, without accommodating themselves to some prescribed formula, which is what you were talking about more to my mind, than actually living out of your spirit. This is a story, very, very short, flash fiction. I wrote it for the Southwest Sage Contest, which is a group here in Albuquerque, writers. And it's very brief, but it sort of gives you an idea of the off-the-wall kind of stories I write. And I'll try to read it in a Brenda Blotsky voice, the way she would do it on her television show. It's a the scene is breakfast at a newlywed apartment, and the husband is also reading the paper. It begins, "The Professional," by Brenda Blotsky. "Oh, wow! What is it, Ozzy?" "This journal ad. Listen, Cal, seeking professional daydreamer. That's you to a T. Up-and-coming corporation seeks college graduate open to imagining a universe of possibilities." Callie circled the table, caressed palms to Ozzy's neck. He continued, "6-figure beginning salary with full health and dental." She squealed in delight, dancing back towards sunlight pouring from the window over the kitchen sink. "I knew our ship would come in, but I never imagined it so soon or so." "Read more," she cried, reclaiming her seat in the glow from the sun at her back. "No work experience necessary, but a strong dream ethic and a vivid grasp of reality are musts." "I love you," Callie said. "Unlimited opportunities for advancement," Ozzy continued, and then froze, appalled, replacing the glint from his blue-green eyes. "Damn it! What?" Ozzy gruffly folded the paper, slapped it to the table, rattling the plate beneath his oatmeal and the small pitcher of cremora alongside. He poised his spoon, then jabbed helplessly into the bowl as if jousting with fates. At length, his gaze rose and met with Callie's. "Second shift," he sighed. "I'd have to miss the Biggest Loser."
No, you're talking about your stick. Why did you come up, or how did you come up with it, or what you see as what do you want to do with it, basically?
I think it's going to be a movement towards saying, hey, there's a certain amount of freedom that people should have. And so it's a cry for freedom. It's a cry for understanding the difference between the genders. And it's also a cry for realizing that absurdity is part of life. And let's celebrate it rather than vote for it. It's the fact is that most human beings are lunatics, and
Yes.
and to pretend that we aren't is getting us into too much trouble. So let's celebrate the fact that we're nuts, and
I love
and
that.
enjoy it.
Celebrate the fact that we're nuts.
Yeah,
I'm for that.
Okay. You mind if I read another
No,
story?
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. This, again, a lot of my stories are about the war between the sexes, or the difference between the sexes. This is a very brief story called Pennzoil Afternoon, and it's about this guy who has a crush on the barmaid at the Galaxy Lounge where he's working as the bartender. And I think it shows some of the differences between men and women, and the possibly avoidable, if we could ever learn how to do it, miscommunications that happen between the sexes, or between the genders, or whatever label you want to give it, and maybe it offers hope for the future. I don't know if it does or not, but I think I tried to make it funny again, so let's see what happens. It's called Pennzoil Afternoon. So my father, you know, from back in Indianapolis, Angel barely responds, just blinks her fantail lashes at me for a half beat, then stares through those winter cocoa eyes of hers. Of course, with that black ring right in the middle of, I think they call it the iris. The cocoa comparison falls a little flat, but that's what I told her once, that her eyes put me in mind of 2 welcome cups of cocoa on a bitterly raw December's day, only seen from like far away, you know? Like maybe by a fly, I told her. Looking down at the cups from the ceiling, eyes like winter cocoa shimmering in painted porcelain cups with melting mini marshmallows bobbing in the froth along the rims, puffing wisps of barely visible steam into the quiet kitchen air. But by the time I got to that point in the metaphor, she just shook her head at me and walked away. Sometimes my similes and metaphors don't do the foreplay job at all, like the eye thing. But another time I told her that in the galaxy's neon lights, her hair blazed like the silky pour of Pennzoil on a sunny afternoon. She smiled at that one, and I think maybe I scored with her there just a little, maybe subtly loosened at least one of the hinges to the back gate of her heart. Anyway, today I'm back to small talk with her, still pouring out her order, flashing out this story about my father in Indianapolis. She's all yawn, gives me another tired blink as I turn for the curacao. She's got me all nervous as hell by now. She with all her getting a law degree and saving the world dreams, me with my dropped out of college scene but struggling to be a writer dreams while doing these worthless jobs, and I find myself against all better judgment falling into the same exaggerating things all out of proportion trap to impress her that never seemed to work. He and I, my dad, were in the backyard during a thunderstorm. Bam! Came a crack of lightning, thunder. The lightning barely missed us, but this gnarly old oak in our backyard was sizzling, and the grass all around it was charred rubble. But then I ordered these seeds from a catalog. Amazonian bluegrass they were, and 2 weeks later that lawn was as lush as anything you'd find at a country club. Stays green all year round too. I visit him in the winter, and you can shovel through 6 feet of snow. Honest to God, underneath the grass is perfect. I'm done pouring the last drink as I end my story, and Angel just turns around. That's my job. I pour the drinks, and Angel puts them on a cork-bottomed tray, carries them out to the tables. And every time, watching her as she walks away from me, slowly and sinuously moving from my circle and into the happier one of college kids and professors that she dutifully serves, carrying with her those law school dreams and realistic outlook toward the future, that swaying butt just serves to remind me of how infinitesimal the chances that my own dreams are, and just how much I hate tending at the Galaxy Bar Lounge.
Oh, so the Brenda Blotsky is like
Brenda
a disguise?
Blotsky is his secret identity.
Oh, his secret identity.
Like Clark Kent
right.
is to
Superman. Right.
So he's now trapped in his secret identity, or else he has to begin his 1,000-year period.
But that's a
hell.
stipulation. You can be a superhero, but you have to assume this secret identity of Brenda Blotsky when you're not a superhero. Okay.
Now, if he wants to retain his superhero costume and walk around with the green and purple stripes with the yellow cape, that's fine, because that's his superhero costume for Heroical Man. But he won't have any power.